Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, y'all. This is the WOW podcast, WOWW, Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday. I'm Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. I am an alternative medical practitioner, owner of Freedom Holistic Wellness, co-owner with my husband of Grace and Grove Homestead, author, wife, mom, Gigi, holistic nutrition specialist, gardener, cook, lover of all things natural, and most importantly, lover of Jesus. And this is my amazing bestie, Wendy Flournoy.
Hey guys, Wendy Flournoy, child of the one true King.
Amen.
Hypnotist, herbalist, forager, student, teacher, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of all things non-toxic and God-given.
That's right. Well, good to be with you guys on this very hectic Wednesday for both me and Wendy. As you see, she's even wearing her apron because she has been busy.
Yes.
But
and I'm trying to be better, trying to do better because I have a tendency to ruin a lot of shirts.
Same.
When I'm gardening, when I'm cooking, when I'm making herbal products, I am the world's worst at protecting my clothing from all of the dirt and the oils and the grease. So I am doing better. My sister got me this wonderful, cute, beautiful plant lady apron. So I'm like, you know what? I probably should wear that.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's the same. I'm forever finding big old oil stains on clothes of mine. And I'm like, you can't get it out. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. They're like stuck forever. So yeah, I hear you. I am frantically trying to get everything that I normally get done in an entire week by today, which means today I'm going to be doing all of my meal prep for our Saturday delivery because my mom and I are leaving tomorrow morning for Tennessee. I'm still not going to share why yet. It is a big old surprise.
Wait till it's finished.
That's right. You all will find out about it next week, if not sooner, if you follow us on Facebook. But yeah, very exciting, very rapid trip to Tennessee and back. And so I'm rush this week, but it's all good. It's all for an awesome reason. And so I'm excited.
That's right. It'll be totally worth it.
Yes.
I'm in the kitchen all day today, creating herbal products. 'Tis the season, 'tis the time of the year. That's why I have my apron on, because I remembered it, and I have my hair up because the longer it gets, the more it comes out, and I find it all over the place. So I'm trying to keep that to a minimum. Danielle, about that last hair in your herbs.
Yes. Oh gosh, that's the worst. Speaking of making herbal creations, we have our Nourish and Flourish series coming up. We're in the middle of our early bird special.
A month from today is the first part of it.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Today's October 15th. It will be on November 15th is the first one. So you definitely want to make plans now to join us, even if you don't know if you can make the part 2 and part 3, which is in April and in October of next year. If you can make November 15th, just sign up for that one. If you do sign up between now and November 8th, there is an early bird special on next year's, as well as a really good special on the bundle of all 3. So definitely consider that, but that ends on November 8th.
Yes.
So please join us. We are going to have so much fun. We are going to pour so much energy and education into you guys. We have limited seats, and our seats are already starting to fill up. We are going to be making tons of food. You're going to go home with lots of recipes, all for, your holiday comfort foods that you think you can't live without on a healthy lifestyle. And we're going to prove you wrong. And, we're going to do tea blends and homemade extracts and just so much. We're going to cover so much in one day. Pot simmers, for like potpourri. So you do not want to miss this. And you're going to go home with so many goodies.
And y'all think we love you virtually. We love even more in person.
Yes, we do. We love all over you in person. So it is going to be so much fun. And just to have people here at Grace and Grove in our first holiday season here, I'm just so excited to share our home and open it up for everybody. And it's going to be awesome.
Yes, it is. Come join us.
Come join us. We have links all over the place. They are on my website now. I was questioning it last week. I was like, had I done it yet? I have. As a matter of fact, when you go on the website, it pops up right now. I don't know how long that pop-up will stay, but no matter what, it is on the website. As well as my cover photo on the Freedom Holistic Wellness page or group, and the my personal wall on both Facebook and X. The links are there as well. So
I think I did that. I know I did it for Facebook as my background picture. Then you can get the link there off of mine. I need to do that on my X too.
Okay, cool. So lots of options. And if you are somebody who gets my newsletter, my newsletter just went out this morning, and it's also got links on there. So we got you covered. We got you all over the place. And my website, in case you're wondering, because I just said on my website and I didn't tell you where, well, it's actually on the screen.
I was going to say, that's why I didn't say, tell them your website.
It's freedomholisticwellness.com, and all kinds of information on there for you guys. All right, girl. Herb of the week.
Oh my goodness. You guys, I probably say this about every herb, but I love this herb.
I don't think you're going to talk about one you hate. So
yeah. No, I think every herbalist is the same. It is a chore and an extreme challenge to pick one favorite herb.
Oh yeah.
That's just like picking which child is your favorite.
Right.
No. This week we're talking about calendula. Beautiful, beautiful calendula.
I love it.
It can be orange, it can be yellow, or
that's the same family as marigold, or are they the same? But they're not the same as marigold.
Exactly. Calendula nickname actually is pot marigold. Okay. Or they call it Mary's gold, which is a Bible reference.
Oh,
okay. It is, it's in the daisy family. So if you have any kind of allergies to daisies, then calendula is not the herb for you. Mm-hmm. It is an annual, and it only grows year round, like in tropical places, but it is, you can see the difference. See the difference in dehydrated and freeze dried?
That's amazing.
Isn't it?
That is.
So I have trying to use up all of my old things. So because now I freeze dry everything. Awesome. Just when you see a difference like that, it's like I can't go back to the old way when I can see the difference in it. Yeah. So anyway, it grows. It's an annual that grows from zones 2 to 11. So pretty much anywhere. It will self-seed itself. So if you let some of them go to seed, you won't have to plant them next year. They'll just come up volunteers, which, I love plants like that. Yes. They remind me of sunshine, the way their petals kind of keep haunting around reminds me of the sun. So they have like sunlight blooms, and they also, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Heliotropism, they follow the sun. So as the day goes on and the sun comes out, they will follow the sun, just like sunflowers turn.
I didn't realize that calendula did that too. That is so cool.
Isn't that neat? They call it Mary's gold because they connect it to devotion and faithfulness.
Okay.
In a symbolic way. Okay. They associate it with the Virgin Mary and the resurrection of Christ. Which I thought was beautiful. I didn't know that till I dug deep into the history of calendula. Yeah. Just like people, plants have stories and a history.
And the beautiful thing is a lot of plants or anything like that people did attach spiritual meaning to,
Yes.
they're almost always biblical, and it's such a beautiful thing.
It represents light, joy, and continuous renewal.
Nice.
Which I loved. Symbolic and spiritually representing hope, divine healing, and spiritual purity.
Okay.
And the connection to the sun, the sun always kind of represents warmth, energy, and life. So a little history. All right. The Latin name came from Calendula, so which means the first day of the month.
Okay.
I found that kind of interesting. The Greeks used calendula for wounds, digestion, and the women used it to help with their menstrual cycles.
Interesting.
Right? The Romans, they held it as a sacred plant to the sun, and they used it in temple offerings, cooking, and dyes. It makes a beautiful color. Now, in India, they offered it in the Hindu temples as a symbol of purity and grace. This is interesting too. In medieval Europe, the monastery gardens used calendula all over the gardens, so they would have it for healing wounds and infections. Cool. Let's see. Petals were often scattered on altars during many of the biblical feast days. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so calendula used today, you can use it you can eat it. It's edible. It's kind of tangy and spicy, the petals. You can ingest it in teas and tinctures. You can use it topically on your skin. You can use it as a poultice, just soaked in water and put on your eyes. I think we did that with you one time for a sty or
yes.
This is an interesting fact too. In the Civil War, the American Civil War and World War I, they used calendula petals to pack wounds to prevent infection.
Interesting.
Because it's a natural antiseptic and it tends to speed up the healing process of things.
Really cool.
Yeah, if you're label readers, like you should be,
yes,
you'll see calendula in a lot of herbal skincare, teas, natural medicines, cosmetics. Once you start, it's like buying a new car. Once you have that car, you start seeing how many of them there are out there.
Yeah.
Once you learn about calendula and you know what it looks like and what it does, you'll probably start seeing it more and more in your label reading. Now, the medicinal actions of it's anti-inflammatory, it's antimicrobial, it's antifungal, it's lymphatic cleansing, antispasmodic. It is full of flavonoids, carotenoids, polysaccharides, which helps with the immune system. All of the volatile oils and resins in them is what makes it antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti-fungal. That's what I was thinking of. So that's why it's such a great skin healer and it works so fast because it has all that in there. It's easy to grow. Like I said, it's an annual that grows zones 2 through 11. Plant you some seeds, get you some petals.
Yeah. And it's also, that's one of the ones, because not many are for little skin, but that's one of the ones that's good for kids, right? Because didn't we used that when we were making an eczema cream for Alexa?
Yes, it is excellent. It is excellent for babies, for toddlers, for pregnant moms. It's completely safe in all those forms. I really ramped up using my calendula balm on when I had grandbabies. My oldest grandbaby's 5 now. So it's like we have 6 grandbabies now, and that's all the kids use for them. Diaper rashes, insect bites, cuts, scrapes,
Nice.
pink eye.
Yeah.
It's great for all of that, but
Mhm.
it's gentle enough that it's not going to hurt them.
Right.
It's great for breastfeeding mothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you can put it on the nipples when they get cracked and sore, and
Mhm.
it will help them tremendously.
Mhm.
You can make easy salves just by soaking calendula in an oil
Mhm.
and adding, and then let it sit for a few weeks, strain it out, and add some beeswax. That's how easy it is.
Wow.
If you don't have time to do that, make a calendula tea and use that water
Yeah.
on the skin and things like that. And you can find calendula tea pretty much anywhere that sells teas now.
Yeah. Yeah. That is actually what I ended up doing for when I had the sty issue a couple years ago that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to make, anything fancy, and I was just doing the calendula teas and doing soaks,
Yeah. And
like gauze soaks.
yeah, as a poultice, I mean, it works fast,
Hmm.
and you can have a noticeable difference in minutes.
Yeah.
You know, you can turn it into lotion. You can do infused oils. This is interesting too, because I didn't know this part of calendula till I started deep diving on it, because I tend to use it more as topical,
Hmm.
but it makes a great mouth rinse.
Oh, okay.
So combining, so it heals canker sores and it helps with gum irritation,
That
things like
makes sense.
it definitely. So think about combining like calendula and cloves,
Mm,
maybe a half a stick of cinnamon.
yeah,
Make a tea and let that cool and use that as a mouth rinse. That is a powerhouse.
it is. That's a great idea and something
Yes,
anybody can do. You don't have to make anything fancy.
that's
That's
right.
awesome. Yeah,
Um,
that would be great.
if you use it as a tea, which calendula is in a lot of my tea blends now,
Mhm.
it's great for gentle detox. It's a powerhouse, but it's gentle.
Mhm.
It's great for digestion. It's great for like the menstrual cramps and just balancing things. It's a great lymph cleanser, but a
Mhm.
powerhouse. So it's a powerhouse, but gentle. It only takes a little bit, 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried calendula flowers per 8 ounces, cup of water.
Wow.
That's it. If you make it into a tincture, you would take 20 to 30 drops a day of the tincture underneath the tongue. Um, I've gotten to where I like adding the petals to salads and stuff just because of
Yeah.
the color. They don't really change the taste of things. They're not that strong.
Uh-huh.
If you eat them by themselves, you'll taste it, the little twang, the little spicy, but it's not overpowering. It's not like horseradish or anything like that.
Mhm.
Let's see. I already did over. Oh, it's a great companion plant, just like the marigolds.
Yes.
Okay. It will deter the vermin from your tomatoes and from your beans. It will encourage your herbs to grow more. Um,
So is it as powerful for that as marigold? I'm wondering if I shouldn't switch that out instead of doing marigolds, do that.
from my understanding and from my experience, yes.
Interesting, because I plant
Mhm.
marigolds every year along with nasturtiums. Those are
Mhm.
my two that I do with my garden every year for, to keep critters out, and cilantro everywhere,
Yeah,
all over. But
I do calendula, nasturtium, and cilantro.
yeah,
Yes.
interesting. I'm going to switch to that. That's a great thing to know.
But and it has something to do with the spicy, because nasturtiums when you eat a nasturtium leaf, it tastes like a radish.
I was going to say, they taste just like radishes. They
And
blow my mind.
that's another common plant that if you take those leaves and dry them out a little bit and then make a tincture, that's a natural antibiotic.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I planted them late this year, so I didn't get any blooms. I got a ton of leaves out there. I might just harvest them.
Yes, harvest
That's
the
good to know.
leaves for sure. I mean, the flowers are edible too.
Yeah.
But
The flowers, I love the taste.
yeah, and the leaves are just as good.
Yeah.
But it is like cilantro too. Calendula is like cilantro too, because the more that you deadhead and take the petals, the flowers off, the more it's going to produce.
Okay.
Just like cilantro. The more you cut it back, the more it comes back.
Nice. Okay.
Gets bushier and you'll get more blooms.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Ooh, definitely one of the versatile ones. That's one of my favorite things to learn about all these herbs, is that very few of them target one thing and one thing only. Like, you've got your things that are known for, like mullein for respiratory, but it's incredible that's why you only need to start with a couple. If you get one or two herbs that you're just going to get really good at, you're going to find so many uses for those things. And then by all means, start, expanded. That's how you got rolling. I just admired how you took off with it, because you just were like, okay, I'm going to fall in love with these couple of herbs. And then every year you're like, and a couple more and a couple more,
And, the more I learn and the more I grow, you're absolutely right. There's so many of them that do the same kind of thing. That it's wonderful. And that's why it's an individual thing too. Yeah. Because not one herb is going to be exactly the same for anybody else. So it's like, this may work great for so-and-so with this issue, but this plant may work better for so-and-so with the same exact issue.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I love the idea of, like, just for example, you were talking about last week about goldenrod being good for wound healing, calendula good for wound healing, plantain good for wound healing. I want to make something with all three, because what if they each have their strengths on certain strains of bacteria or certain strains of different compounds? So I'd rather do something with a mixture and then use that. I love that. But that's kind of what you do with your triple antibiotic, which is the best.
Right. And it's like, even with the triple antibiotic, you don't have to use the same 3 or 4 plants that I'm using, because there's so many options out there that do have, antibiotic properties. So it's like, okay, what's growing? What do you have growing? Use that, Yeah. And
that reminds me, we got a question from Lynn McGahee.
Okay.
She would really love the triple antibiotic ointment recipe, because she would like to make it. And I know we've posted it before, but I could not remember when or where. I know we talked about it.
It's easier just to set it up again.
Yeah. Very much so.
We can do that. I actually have the recipe out today in the kitchen, because that's one of the things I'm making. Okay. So absolutely. Just keep in mind, when I give you a recipe, that's just what I use.
Right.
I'm not telling you that it has to be that way. Any antibiotic property herb you can use. Okay. It doesn't have to be the ones that I use.
And that's good to reference too, because like Lynn lives in New York, you're in Virginia, you're going to have better access to different things that maybe Wendy doesn't have access to in Virginia, but you might have in New York, and vice versa.
That's right.
The more
what's in your, what you can or cannot use, and have questions about it, feel free to reach out to me.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. But that triple antibiotic ointment, I don't know if any of y'all have ever experienced sebaceous cysts. I experience them quite often, and I got so tired of having to go to the doctor every time one was coming up, because typically I have to go get them cut out. And I'm done with that. So when I started, that was one of the reasons I started making this triple antibiotic ointment. Because I can feel them. I tend to get them in my chest, and I can feel them when they first start coming on. So I started using that triple antibiotic ointment on those spots when I feel them, And within 3 days, they're gone now.
Amazing.
There's no more going to the doctor, no more getting cut on to cut it out. So I'm forever a believer of the triple antibiotic ointment. I will always make it.
Now, I'm just curious, have you gotten less of them since you stopped getting them cut out?
Yes.
See, because there's a lot of studies being done right now that I'm really fascinated by that even are related to cancerous tumors and different types of cysts, that when you actually bust those things open, they create more problems or spread more. And so it makes me wonder if, even though you were doing what we've always been told to do, get rid of it.
Yeah.
If you were,
the problem that I had was when I let them kind of linger, they're almost like plantar warts where they grow roots and things.
Yeah.
They would get, the roots of them would get so angry, infection would take over my chest.
Wow.
So they would have to lance it and get all the infection out first and then get the roots out. But every time they cut one out, it just popped up, a couple centimeters away in a different spot.
That's what I'm thinking. You're doing so much better for yourself. I mean, obviously, because you're doing it naturally and with something that's getting rid of it in 3 days, but by not going and having to get them cut out anymore, that's amazing.
Yes, I'm a believer. I will never. I hope I never have to go to the doctor for one of those ever again.
Yes. And just because YouTube is going to throw a fit, we do not.
I am not a doctor. I don't play one on YouTube. It's for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only.
I am a PhD doctor. I am not an MD doctor. And, so YouTube likes to point that out to me as well.
That's
so
right.
Let's just make that clear. Heaven forbid anybody learn a way to do it naturally.
I'm just a conspiracy theorist, so.
Right. And it's amazing how many of those conspiracies keep coming true.
Right.
All right.
The properties of the calendula, with everything that does, it's gentle but a powerhouse. Always remember that it's safe for everyone, even a breastfeeding mother, which most herbs will be like, it's great for everybody but the pregnant woman.
And kids. I mean, that's what really made me fall in love with it, was being able to make like eczema creams and stuff like that for Alexa. Kirsty makes them. She does a beautiful job using stuff like that. And she's been blown away how quickly the kids respond to that. Both kids, like whether it be bug bites or whatever.
Yes.
So,
I know with my grandchildren, and my daughter runs an in-home daycare, she uses the calendula balm on all the baby bottoms, and she's like, Mom, that stuff is amazing.
Yeah. Because
it instantly starts healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I had one. Let me look on my notes. I had one more thing I wanted to say. Well, can't find. Oh, here it is. I knew I wrote it down. I found a verse that I love that kind of represents calendula to me. It's Proverbs 4:18. The path of righteousness is like the morning sun, shining even brighter till the full light of day. So that verse reminded me of calendula, so I just kind of paired them together.
Yes, because of the sun, because it looks like a little sun. I love it.
And the calendula follows the sun.
Yeah.
So I love that. So that is calendula, you guys.
Yay! Let us know what you think about this new Herb of the Week segment. I think it's so much fun because Wendy always has so much information to share, personal anecdotes as well as what she researches and finds out deeper about them. So I love it. I always love learning more about them.
So I say, and I encourage everyone to grow one herb, even if it's something that you only cook with. grow it, because when you get your hands on things and you can feel them, that's how you start to really get to know them.
Yeah.
You taste it, you cook with it, you watch it grow, you develop a relationship with it, you know?
Taste the ones that are not toxic. Although most of our herbs we grow are not, but you know, there's a few out there. Like, remember when we found out about, because I have a ton. One of the first things I looked up when we moved into our home, because we just moved in early April. There was lily of the valley everywhere.
Beautiful.
And it is so gorgeous. It's all around the little fish pond we have and everything. It's absolutely beautiful. So I was like, oh, God must know I need this. Well, it actually has been used, which is really fascinating because my mom has dementia. It actually has been used in some
studies,
some places for Alzheimer's. But it's highly toxic. So it's nothing I'm going to play with, at least until I get
you have to know what you're doing, just like pokeweed.
Yeah.
Pokeweed is so toxic, but not if you know what you're doing.
Right. Exactly. Right. It has its rules and it has its certain things you need to do. So that's all I needed to do was see that it was toxic. And I'm like, oh, okay, nope, not today. I don't have time to pay attention to all the nuances of it right now. Maybe one day when I have time, but right now, nope, I'll just enjoy it.
You want to take those cautions seriously and don't just go and say, you know, you wouldn't go foraging through the woods and just eat every berry you came across.
No.
You know, so it's kind of like that.
Exactly. All right. So today we are going to wrap up the Fad Diet series that I've been doing. I'm going to hit highlights on several instead of doing just one today because I have several. I just have a little bit to say something about. But two in particular, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on. One being the carnivore diet because that's become so popular. So I really want to reiterate why I have the mindset that I do, other than the education I have on nutrition, which is what my passion is and what I have spent most of my doctorate working on is in nutrition. But if you need supplements to replace what God gave us to eat, then it is not ideal for your system. If you start to learn how we were created and the fuel that nourishes us best, you're going to find it's very balanced. So when you get into a diet, now, Wendy and I have both talked about this. Some diets are great and have their purpose medicinally short term. And I will never take anything from that. We talked about that with keto last week.
Yep.
But for long-term periods or for your one method of weight loss and things like that, they are not the way to go. So with the carnivore diet, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's animals only. Some of them do it dairy free, some do it dairy included, but they almost all are just meat, eggs, butter. So, but dairy is just depending on who you talk to, whether they do dairy. There's no vegetables, no fruits, no grains, no legumes.
None at all?
None.
Wow.
None. Now, it promises some really enticing stuff. And I've seen some pretty amazing things happen to people. You'll see a lot of people use this for autoimmune disorders. As a matter of fact, probably the most famous person who created the Lion Diet is Jordan Peterson's daughter. What's her name? Michaela Peterson, I think.
Yeah.
She had years of massive illness. And it did a lot for her. But even when she spoke on Capitol Hill, remember when they had that roundtable last year that you and I got so excited about that some real big names spoke at? She was one speaking about that.
Okay.
Even when she spoke on Capitol Hill, she mentioned that there is just not enough long-term studies, and that even she doesn't recommend it long-term. Now, if you talk to a lot of people I have about carnivore diet that swear by it, they will tell you they will never do anything else for the rest of their life. And I'm telling you, that's dangerous.
It just doesn't seem sustainable to me.
Well, you know, you think about it. If you love meat and you love eggs, you know, I guess.
Yeah, but all day, every day.
Right. Oh, I'm with you.
I love beans, but when I was strict on alkaline, I got tired of beans.
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, and I've seen some people that I know are on this whose health has gone downhill. Or they've ended up in the hospital, or things have happened. And so, and they don't like to say, oh, you know, they like to blame it on other things. I'm telling you, I'm convinced it's what they're doing to their bodies. But here's the thing. It works great up front for the same reason that keto does, because it slams you into ketosis. It gets rid of a lot of fat really quickly. But unfortunately, it's also getting rid of a lot of electrolytes, a lot of muscle. You're not getting in any balanced nutrition, none of your fiber. I mean, there's zero fiber in meat. Yeah. So and you know how I am about that. I want everybody to be fiber focused.
That's what your whole newsletter today was on.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So, and the biggest thing to me, and this is what I try and tell people who try and push, you know, when I talk to other nutrition driven people or wellness people that encourage high protein diets, you might get some good results today. Your long-term health is going to suffer because of it. You are straining and stressing out your kidneys. It is so bad for your kidneys. And I mean, it is just, it's very, very dangerous for the long-term kidney health. Your kidneys cannot tolerate having to process that much protein. It just can't. One thing I failed to mention last week and about the keto that I thought about when I was preparing to talk about the carnivore diet. One of the reasons why I also struggle with keto is because a lot of people don't talk about that you need to have a reasonable amount of protein, not an excess. Because what a lot of folks on keto do is basically act like they're doing the carnivore diet. And it's like, oh, well, if I have to monitor my carbs, heck with it. I'm just going to treat the proteins, the animal proteins, as a free-for-all. And especially in the case of keto, when you're really trying to get a minimal amount of the net carbs, you are going to throw your body into gluconeogenesis, because once your body uses all the protein that it needs, it converts the rest to sugar. And that's the process. That's what the process is called, is gluconeogenesis. And it's totally counterproductive.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just not good for long-term health. If you are doing it short-term, you know why it's working? Because you're getting rid of the processed foods. You're getting rid of the junk. Just like all these other diets that encourage you to get rid of the processed foods, you're going to have health improvement.
Yep.
You are,
Yep.
You know, but when you're talking about doing something long-term, that is not one to mess with. Even short-term, I don't believe in doing it at all. I think that the reason why people are seeing results in the autoimmune disorders because of the carnivore diet is because they're getting rid of the processed foods.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it really makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because that's what is the biggest catalyst for the autoimmune disorders is the gluten and the processed foods. And so by nature, you're getting rid of both of those when you're doing the carnivore diet, but that doesn't mean that it's going to give you everything else you need.
So when people do carnivore, are they switching to like clean meats?
Well, ideally, but I mean, who knows? It's a lot like keto. You know, what's the main thing about keto? Everybody's worried about their carbs.
Yeah.
So that's why you have so many people doing dirty keto, because they're just like, well, I don't give a rip where the
who cares what the ingredients are in this product.
Exactly.
It's keto friendly.
And it's so unhealthy when you do it that way. So it's the same thing with the carnivore diet. If your funds are limited, or if you really don't care about where your meat's coming from, no, they're not getting them from healthy sources. So it just depends. Would it be better if they did? Sure, but it doesn't change the fact that you're still missing a lot. I mean, the nutrient gaps are insane. I mean, vitamin C, folate, magnesium, potassium, antioxidants that are found only in plants.
Right.
So inflammation will rise again, even if you temporarily get rid of it. So if you're not getting those nutrients in, so what are people doing? Supplementing. And that to me is just crazy. You know what cracks me up too?
Instead of eating the food to get what you need, they're taking supplements that probably are filled with junk too.
And if they're not getting in, it's so funny because they go and they replenish with so many of these things that they're missing. They can get some from organ meats. They can get some from good quality wild caught seafood. But they're still not going to get everything they need, not even close. And they're not going to get the fiber.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just not good long term. Cholesterol. I mean, you may have some cholesterol improvements at first. And hear me on this. When you are following a good quality diet, it won't matter if or a well-balanced diet like what I teach. It will not matter if you eat bacon. It will not matter if you eat red meat. Your cholesterol is going to improve. I have said before, and I think I said it last week, I can probably count on one hand how many clients, and it's all been men. No, I take that back. One was a woman. How many times in 5 years I have had to adjust somebody's meat intake because the way I teach them to eat did not improve their cholesterol enough. And it is, I mean, it's the processed foods, but when you're, and also because we don't overdo meat in what I teach. So if you've got a diet that is nothing but heavy meat, their cholesterol is going to be affected. Temporarily, it'll improve possibly because of the elimination of processed foods. But if you're not taking in fiber, which fiber is really the key to balance out your cholesterol is going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
So all just not, it's not good. It's not good. Also, if you eliminate dairy and seafood, maybe you're somebody who isn't crazy about fish, and you've decided you're doing carnivore without dairy, you're missing out on so many other things because you're not getting. So my favorite way to get calcium is beans and greens. I'm not a big, push dairy, but you're not going to get beans, greens, or dairy if you're doing it that way. So you are not getting your calcium at all. You're going to be very limited on your iodine if you're not doing any seafood. And your vitamin K will drop too. And this drastically affects your bone health as well as your thyroid health. So it's just overall, it's awful. I mean, will you lose weight on it? Yep. But you're also going to have major health issues long-term if you do that. So not a fan. Most people who are doing it are on supplement powders, vitamin C, which I'm a fan of taking vitamin C anyway, at least seasonally.
Right.
They have to take high doses of magnesium and potassium, digestive enzymes, bile salts, and ironically, fiber supplements because they get constipated. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Just eat your fiber. Don't take pills. Just eat your fiber.
That's right. So other fad diets, there's a bunch, but the other one I really wanted to hit on is juicing, because I do get a lot of clients that come to me about juicing. Now, full disclosure, I wrote my doctoral thesis on smoothie fasting. And a lot of people think they're the same. 1,000% not. 1,000% not. So with me, smoothie fasting, I will use it therapeutically. You will never hear me tell somebody they need to be on it longer than 3 weeks.
Right.
Unless they're using it for like a major 40-day biblical fast or something like that. That's between them and God. But 3 weeks is generally the longest I will ever recommend. And oftentimes 2 days, so it is used medicinally, basically. It's used therapeutically. But here's the biggest difference. When you are making smoothies, you're retaining all of the fiber, all of the nutrition from the fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
When you are juicing, you are extracting the liquid juice, or excuse me, the liquid sugar, essentially. You are going to cause such a strain on your pancreas because the insulin production is going to be all haywire. You're going to have massive spikes in your glucose and major dips because you are drinking such a high concentration of sugar. Anytime you're doing liquid sugar, it goes straight to your liver, affects your pancreas very rapidly. And it's just not a good option. It will react within your body. No, it's not as toxic, obviously. It will react within your body almost as if you're drinking a Coca-Cola. I mean, or a soda of whatever kind.
Right.
So it's just not it's not a healthy option. Will you lose weight? Absolutely, because you're not taking in, processed foods and you're not taking in all the other stuff. But it is not good for your health for any amount of time. And even really, I would say for any time. The only time you'll ever hear me recommend juices are either to cook with, like if I'm making an orange juice and doing it as a marinade or something like that. Or medicinally, because I will make like cranberry juice or recommend a good quality cranberry juice for urinary tract infections and things like that. I use them medicinally. Yeah. Pomegranate juice for certain, for certain conditions. Pineapple juice when you have a really bad cough for the bromelain. So I'll use them medicinally. I will not ever recommend that you just go and drink a glass of juice. And I really had to work on my husband on that. And it opened his eyes because he used to go through some orange juice, y'all. Like ridiculous how much orange juice he was drinking. And I finally showed him one little 8 ounce. And this is why, if you think about it like this, it'll make so much more sense to you. One little 8 ounce glass of orange juice takes 6 oranges. Yeah. So you are getting the same amount of sugar as if you ate 6 oranges in a small little 8 ounce glass. It is so much sugar all compacted into that little glass. So it's not something you want to do as a diet. It is not something you want to do even on a regular basis because the sugar concentration is crazy. Some others, there's people that do 500 calorie diets long-term. That is crazy. I know that there.
Oh my gosh, my stomach's growling even thinking about that.
Yes. There are, I've heard of people being prescribed that for hormone balancing. Please, if you ever have somebody recommend that to you for hormone balancing, please give me a call. I can help you balance your hormones and you're not going to starve to death. Mm-hmm. It is not, I think what the intent is to get you as close to autophagy without, without truly, because they'll do it long term. They're also recommending that for some bariatric patients. And I'm just like, it is dangerous to be doing anything like that long term. And you are not getting everything you need for sure in that. Of course, there's things like cabbage soup diet and stuff like that. They're not sustainable. Fruitarian or raw only diets, again, not sustainable. And the raw only, there was a period of time when I really was considering that, because there's so much goodness in getting all the nutrients in the raw
just for the alkaline purposes alone.
Yeah.
That's huge in the alkaline diet is the raw.
Yeah. And again, medicinally or therapeutically, I would absolutely use that, But that being said, there's a lot of people who find that if that is all they're consuming, their guts cannot digest all of those fruits and vegetables, and you can actually create some longer term GI issues as a result. So, but that's person to person. I would never recommend a full-on raw diet because a lot of those folks are doing it as vegan. But if you are consuming I eat a lot of raw fruits and vegetables because I eat a lot of salads, but I also have my fair share of cooked stuff too, so it's all about balance, y'all. And that's what brings me back to the, I get a lot of questions about Mediterranean and paleo. They are as close to what I teach as anything out there. Paleo
and whole foods, right?
Exactly. Paleo is fantastic. That's essentially what I teach. It's just I teach a balance of what that looks like. Whereas if you just tell yourself, oh, I'm eating paleo, you could eat, quinoa 3 meals a day and be paleo. You know what I mean? So it's more about finding that balance. Mediterranean or the brain diet, which both are, I think some people call it the mind diet, but anyway, excellent. The only disagreement I have with the Mediterranean diet is they don't address the gluten, the gluten issue. And a lot of people think gluten-free diets are a fad, like what I'm talking about here with other diets. It's not. Gluten-free is not a fad. It is unfortunately us having to protect ourselves against the horrible agricultural practices we have to deal with nowadays. It is very hard to find good quality gluten grains because they've been absolutely decimated over the last 100 years.
Yeah.
I will tell you that it is something that I'm very interested in doing in growing my own turkey red wheat and seeing if I have total control. Now, granted, y'all hear me. I know that this is not practical for the average person listening to this. I want to do it as a test on our family. Yes. Because we are very gluten sensitive. When Bill eats gluten, and he does sometimes, his joints act up. My son can't eat it at all because he's celiacs. Even the grandbabies have some sensitivities to gluten. So I would love to see, does the quality make a massive difference and how it's raised? I bet it does.
I bet it does too.
So I'm thinking about doing a patch of some turkey red wheat and using it for sourdough. Have me in control of it just so I can use it as a good quality study. Because the reality is, even if I go to a great store and I don't really know where the wheat came from, there's so much cross-contamination and so much stuff out there environmentally. I want to do that for a test.
Right. That'd be a fun experiment.
Yeah.
It would. So
stay tuned because that's going to be a very long experiment, but it will be neat to see. Because there are some people out there that have said that when they use some of the ancient grains, which is what turkey red wheat is, that is one of the best ones in America. That if you get it from a reputable place, that it is still heirloom and hasn't been messed with. So I just want to see how an ancient form of wheat like that would do with my body. And the other thing is we eat too many grains in our diets now anyway. So that's part of the problem too. Our bodies.
Our food pyramid was upside down for years.
Yes. Yes, exactly. You know, and they did that. Well, that's a whole nother show, girl. That was marketing 101 and the government got involved. So, you know, it should never be the base of our food pyramid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so stay tuned on that. But truly, the gluten that we have today that is most readily available, the wheat that we have today is not the wheat in the Bible, y'all. No. It has been completely destroyed. It is, and it didn't just start with the glyphosates. It started, the first time that they started doing genetic modification on our gluten grains, on our wheat, was 100 plus years ago at the turn of the Industrial Revolution. And our wheat used to be almost as tall as our corn, which blows people's minds when they hear that. It blew my mind. I just assumed it was always this little 2 foot tall runt stalk. It wasn't. It was tall. Oh. So what they did was they first genetically modified it to shrink it down for it to be easier to harvest. But what happened was they didn't shrink all of it. They shrunk the stalk and left the left the seed head the same. So what it did was it created a toxic percentage, a toxic balance of, or imbalance, I should say, of gluten per stalk. Yeah. And so that is what was the initial problem with us. We were getting way too high of a percentage of gluten per wheat in our systems. And then add into that all of the genetic modifications so it could be sprayed with glyphosates and, you know, not kill the plant. It's killing us, but it's not killing the plant. Yep. So yeah, it's awful stuff. And it's a shame because, you know, I shared this in one of my just kind of video blogs, but one of my new friends from our church, Johnny, he did the most amazing workshop at our church for the women a couple of weeks ago because he does homemade sourdough. Oh, nice. And it was so beautiful. He was showing scripturally, you know, like how he attributed each step to scripture, and it was just such a beautiful thing to be a part of. I was just so glad to be there. But it hit me, and I told him, I said, the Holy Spirit spoke through you on something to me, because all these years that I've been telling people, it's not the wheat in the Bible, it's not the wheat in the Bible. That is the first attack on our modern food system. That is the first, was the wheat. And, you know, I'm a big believer that the enemy is behind all of this attack on our food system, because what has it done to us? It's made us fat, sick, and nearly dead, just like that, you know, that
it's weak. It made us weak.
Yes, it's made us weak. It distracts us because we're more focused on, you know, well, we get brain fogged for starters. Right. We have low energy. We're more focused on, you know, our aches and pains and our diseases and how we feel, how poor we feel, than we are on what God is trying to tell us. It's awful, you know, what the enemy has done through food. Well, what better place for him to start than through our wheat, when wheat was so
pretty much made everything back then, right?
Yes, it was so impactful in biblical times. I don't think that was by accident. Nope. And I never thought about that. But man, I'm always talking about spiritual warfare on our food. That's where it started. And that was by design. That was by design. He is not smarter than God, but boy, he's cunning.
That's and right.
It's really a shame. So I would love to find out that we do just fine with the turkey rib.
Oh, I would love to find that out too.
Yeah. So anyway, of course, a lot of people will argue with me on this one, and you know, it is what it is. Modern tools, pills, shots, surgeries, these are so out of design for our bodies. They're dangerous. And, I don't care how cute of a little dance they do on your commercial for Wegovy, or how, all these promises they make, y'all, in every clinical trial, in every one, they had 95% of weight regained when they came off of them within the first year, because it is a lifelong drug, and they aren't telling you that.
Yep.
The people that are taking it and, using it exclusively for weight loss, not making lifestyle changes, not doing all that stuff because they're taking these shots, it is coming back, y'all, as soon as you get off of them. And you know what? You better get off of them, because one of the biggest things that they showed in anybody who's been on it for 3 years or more, this was also in the clinical trials, they had a 42% increase in thyroid cancer. What? Why? Why do this? There's so many better ways out there. And I get it, y'all. I'm a lifelong yo-yo dieter before I finally unlocked how to actually live a healthy lifestyle. So I get it. I understand it. And you know what? If those shots would have been out 20 years ago, guaranteed you, I would have been the first in line at my doctor's office. So I'm not judging. Nope. I'm just begging you to recognize that there is a better way. Right. And I can also tell you, there are 2 types of surgeries. You will always hear me ask people, please, to get a second opinion and really pray about it and really think twice about it. No judgment if you decide it's best for you. But the 2 surgery types that I saw the most complications in the ER in my almost 20 years of ER nursing was back surgeries and bariatric surgeries. And I saw some horrible, and I'm talking not just immediately post-op on the bariatric surgeries. I'm talking what dumping syndrome and electrolyte imbalances and everything has done to people years later.
I have friends that had severe nutrient deficiencies.
Yes.
Gastric bypass surgery.
Yes.
That didn't happen for years later.
Right. And it used to be that they had, and I know that they go through, you've got to be this much overweight, and, we've got to put you through psychiatric evaluation to make sure that you realize you've also got to do lifestyle changes. And there's, I've heard all the things I know, but I will tell you, they have loosened up the reins a lot on that from nowadays versus what they used to do 20 years ago.
Oh, yes.
So it is terrifying to me how long-term your medical, your health is going to be affected. Yeah. Now, let me tell you this. If you are within the sound of our voice and you are 800 pounds, and I'm not saying that to be funny, people like that, exist in our world. If you are grossly, morbidly obese and you're going to die because you cannot even get up off your couch, the shots and the surgeries might be your only way. Yeah. I get that. But people that are choosing that when they have 20 pounds to lose, 50 pounds to lose, please don't do something that's going to be detrimental to your health. I'm begging you.
Not worth it.
No. As you see, that is something that I'm very passionate about. So that is wrapping up a 3-week segment on the fad diets. If you have any specific ones you want to ask me about, I'm happy to talk to you. But this is my rule of thumb. If you are eliminating an entire food group that God gave us to eat, if you are supplementing because you have no choice, I'm not talking about targeted supplementation because you have, it's a high viral season, or like I'm going to go see my grandbabies this weekend and you can bet I'm taking high dose vitamin C. They've all been sick this week. So I'm loading up. You know, I'm not talking about supplementation like that. I'm talking about you need it for survival because you're not getting it from your food. That's a problem. So just hear me on that. Hear my heart. I am not saying this with any judgment. I am saying this as somebody who has lived it and has also, you know, gotten very well educated on all of these different fads and what actually works best. And I would love to support you all in your health journey and help you. And if you're on GLP-1s, one of the things that I'm writing is my book. It's my second one that's going to come out in the spring, but my first one, I'm almost wrapped up to a good stopping point on it. But my second one is going to be all on being fiber focused. And that is the key for GLP-1 boosting naturally. And I would love to walk you through it so we can get you off of those shots if you are on them. So, don't
you have a holiday special going on too?
Yes, I do. So that is it's actually very exciting. I just announced it today in my newsletter as well as on social media. I think I only got it out on Facebook so far. I'll put it out on all the platforms, but we do a healthy holidays program every single year. This is going to be the 5th year. I'm very, very excited about it. I break it up into 2 segments. They are 2 different segments. Some years I've done it for 5 weeks total. This one, the last couple, I've done it for 6. So it's going to be 3 weeks in November, 3 weeks in December. I teach you so much in that 6 weeks. It is a group program. I don't do, you know, any kind of targeted meal plans or anything. It's all about learning how to maintain a healthy lifestyle, or it might be your first attempt at a healthy lifestyle through the holidays. It's one of my favorite things to teach because when I first started down this path, I thought there was no way I was going to be able to eat and cook healthy during the holidays. And I was, you know, would just figure I'd have to throw in the towel. Such a lie we tell ourselves.
Oh, absolutely.
There's so many amazing recipes, and I've created a lot of my good old Southern comfort foods for the holidays into healthy ones. So I teach you all about that. I help create accountability. We do 2 meetings a week as a group. And it is just such a fun time. And I have lots of people who have done just the healthy holidays and have felt equipped to go on and actually be independent and do their own thing for years to come and have gotten a lot out of it. Janet Miller's one I'm thinking of, that when she did it, she got so much out of that. And she's never, you know, done anything more than that as far as my programs. And she got tons out of that.
Yes.
So the special I have going on, first of all, each one is $247 if you only want to do 3 weeks. If you want to do the bundle, which I highly recommend, it is going to be different from one to the next. It's $397. So it is discounted if you get the bundle. Now, if you sign up between now and October 30th for either of my 12-week programs, whether it be my core 12-week personal healing pathway or the one-to-one intensive 12-week program, you are going to get the Healthy Holidays program for free.
Nice.
And if you want to purchase it now to get that special, you can start your 12-week program at any time. So if you want to do, you know, go ahead and sign up now. You can go through the Healthy Holidays program and then start at the first of the year if you want on the 12-week. If you are choosing to do the 12-week one-to-one intensive, I'm offering something I've never offered before. You get weekly Zoom meetings during your 12 weeks. I'm actually going to also do weekly Zoom meetings with you during that 6-week program at no added charge. So if you're choosing to do the one-to-one intensive, I'm going to add that. And that's if you sign up by the 30th. Where I'm going to do weekly Zoom meetings with you throughout the holiday period as well. So
nice.
even if you're not doing the 12 weeks yet. So very excited about that.
Yeah.
I have links galore to share since I have so many different options. So just reach out to me if you know that you want to do it. Next week, I'm going to have a landing page set up because my daughter and I have been very immersed in what we are excited about this weekend. We have not had time to do the landing page. And so
Coming soon.
Next week we'll have the landing page, but I do have individual links for every single option. So if you want to do just one of the 3 weeks, if you want to do the bundle, or if you want to sign up for either the 12-week, either of the 12-week pathways and get it for free, all of that is available. I just need to hear from you.
That's right.
So, woo! I feel like I've talked a blue streak.
Right. I wanted Joy Hamner had a question on calendulas. I want to answer for her. Hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
For your support. Calendula and all of its products are safe for pets. I tend to use the calendula balm on my dog. He gets hot spots all the time, and it's the best. It's the best thing for. It's safe.
That is such a great question.
Yeah.
That is such a great question.
Thank you for your question, Joy.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Do you want, I feel like I'm going to die if I talk anymore. Do you want to do one more plug for our Nourish and Flourish series, my love?
We're in-person retreat. You guys come spend your time with Wendy and I. Let us fill you up. Let us give you all the knowledge and brain dumps from us to you at Wendy's beautiful homestead. Our first one is November 15th. We're 1 month away. We have a sale going for everything still until November 8th.
Yes.
Is our early bird sale. So you can sign up for the November 15th one or the entire bundle by November 8th to get the best price out there.
Yep.
Come create and play with us.
Yes. Wendy and I have dreamt of doing in-person retreats for so long. And y'all, I'm telling you, hear my heart in this. We love getting together with other people that are like-minded and want to learn. We spend so much energy pouring in, and our goal is if we get enough people interested in this, that 2027, maybe 2028 at the latest, we start doing destination retreats.
Yes.
We're not going to do it without interest, but man, we are so excited at the possibility of, getting a giant cabin in Pigeon Forge or in the Smoky Mountains, and being all about the nature around us and all of the natural healing options that we have available to us in this world. And,
the physical connection, the mental connection, the foraging that we could do together, the spiritual building of each other that we could do that. All of that just excites me so much. Building this with other like-minded people.
Yep. And I'll tell you a little sneak peeky. We really, really, really want to get enough interest so that we can book out a big retreat area that they have at Mountain Lake Resort, which is the Dirty Dancing Resort. That is my dream. So y'all come get excited about these retreats in person and help us be able to bring stuff like this to you all. That would be so much fun.
All right. So I know what you are busy getting ready to leave and travel to Tennessee. So what else do you have going on in addition to that? Like, that's not enough.
I'm gonna be doing my meal prep today. I've still got a couple spots open for meal prep delivery service. If you're local, definitely let me know. I do have a very tight cap on that because it's a lot of work, y'all. Yeah. I'm not doing it for tons of people. But if I could, all my prayer warriors out there, if you could please keep me in prayer, because I feel God moving me in a new direction, an additional direction, nothing that I'm going to stop doing, just add to it locally for my clients and likely for a lot of new clients. And financially right now, it sounds like it's an impossibility, but with him, everything's possible. So if you all will just be in prayer over this, possible new direction that I feel like I'm being called into, and for God to make a way. So trust me, if it comes to fruition, I'll be screaming it from the mountaintops, and you'll get all the details.
That's right.
It's been really exciting, but also very terrifying. So if y'all could just be in prayer for me as I'm listening for his direction on this.
Most definitely.
All right. I think that does it. We will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, if you have any questions for us at all, Wendy's on wellness@gmail.com, or you can always reach out to us via DM on Facebook is going to be your best bet, because if you reach out otherwise, or you can go on freedomholisticwellness.com and have the contact me. It'll come straight to my email, and I will see it that way as well. Nice. All right. You guys have a great week. We love you.